Right.
So I'm speaking to Joseph Benjamin, right? And the story he tells me is that some circa 7 years ago, he left Nigeria to come to the United States on the promises of an agent, a business partner, that they had set up, a soft landing for him to go into the movies in America. He was coming into Atlanta, which is where Tyler Perry was based, ATL, the black hub for the creativity in America. They are set up. The person, just promised all of these things. So Joseph, gingered, excited to go because he had also seen that there was a next for him. He left Nigeria, right? He got here, and in just a matter of days, the person pulled out, disappointed him. And so he's stranded. He's
marooned.
God bless you. He's marooned on the island. He's marooned in this United States. And so to survive, because he can't go back, he essentially burned his boats. He burned the boats, burned the bridges in Nigeria, sold all his stuff, gave stuff out and all of that. So he couldn't go back. So to survive in this United States, he had to start driving Uber and Lyft and delivering packages for Amazon. And he even tried to get a job in the cold room of a grocery store.
Wow.
This wow that you said, this wow was exactly what I said. I'm like, what? You did all of that? That's surprising, right? It's like you, Frank, telling me that somebody said, come and go into TV in America, and then you leave Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you get here and they pull out, and then you are driving Uber and Lyft. I'd be like, Frank, you did that.
Well,
what, Abi?
At this age, I don't think I would have abandoned what I was doing.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, he did, right? So I'm surprised. So I say, what and all of that? You did that. How? When? How? And, there's nothing wrong with those jobs. There's dignity,
of course,
in all labor,
of course.
But relative to where he was coming from and where he thought he was going, that was surprising, right?
Yes.
So we posted this interview, and as you can imagine, there come these thousands of comments from intelligent, brilliant, beautiful minds who are inspired, who get it, who say, man, you went through all of that. God bless you. We didn't know. Man, thank you for inspiring me. Nice. Thank you. Great content and all of that. But as you might also imagine, with the harvest comes the weed.
Of course.
The weeds and the tares.
Yeah, the chaff from the grain.
The chaff, exactly. So in coming all these negative comments from people who lack a grasp of context, contextualization, background, backdrop, backstory, and flow of conversation. All these negative comments. A few of them.
Yes.
And see, I have no problem with you if you comment even when you lack a grasp of context, right? Just do it politely. Do it politely, yeah. Because look, all of us at some point have spoken to matters we didn't understand. Hopefully when we're younger, because as you grow older, you're supposed to be more circumspect.
Exactly.
You learn to keep your own counsel.
By all means.
Even when you think somebody is wrong.
Exactly.
One of the hallmarks of maturity is you keep your counsel. You just don't talk. But look, to each his own. We all have different levels of uptake.
Yes.
So even if you don't get the context, but you comment politely, I leave you. You see a few of those on my page. What I can't stand, what gets me hot and bothered, hot under the collar, is when somebody who lacks a grasp of context states their ignorance confidently and does so abrasively and rudely, lacking any sort of decorum, etiquette, decency, respect, or manners. So I see some of these comments and I'm mad. Now I want to start replying, not so much because it has gotten under my skin, but because I can see the obvious holes in this dense asinine logic.
Yes.
Then somebody close to me says, no, don't do that. That's not your thing. Obviously
it will affect your brand.
Yeah, obviously you can, but that's not your thing. Then they said, this is the thing. They said, this way I've been going with all this long setup. You know what they said?
Yeah. What did they say?
They said, if you wear Daddy Freeze or
Frank Edoho,
you can do that.
Or
those guys,
Jim Ike. They always put Jim Ike or Reno or Mockery.
Those guys are known for doing that. They've built some sort of reputation around doing that. I'm like, okay, that's true. But then my next question to myself is, but since when? The Frank whom I used to roll around with back in those early days, 2000, was the perfect gentleman. Frank always had a quick wit, but that was when we were walking. Outside of that, Frank was cool.
Yes.
When did this Frank? So it's either one of two things for me. It's either I didn't really know Frank, or something changed along the way. And if something changed, then what precipitated that change?
That's a good question.
When did you become Mr. Basbos? You this cool guy.
No. Okay, listen. Like I told you before, it started when they told me, hey, they said I was dropped from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and people started insulting me. People just came at me, you know. So I never looked at it from the viewpoint of I can't be insulted. But when you insult me for something that didn't happen, or you're just playing childish, or you just want to be corrosive, then I say that these people deserve to be answered. Why? Because, one, everybody doesn't answer them. And if you give a fool leverage, the fool will grow to become the president of this country one day. You know why? Because everybody's saying, no, don't involve. You know, someone actually sent me a message and said, this, you're replying will disrupt your brand. I said, what brand? I said, what brand? If I have a brand, I didn't put it out there knowingly. I'm just a guy who loves broadcasting. I do wants to be a millionaire. And before I got that job to do it, I didn't promise you that I'll be on my best behavior. You see, the problem with these people is that when they see anybody on TV, and they see anybody on YouTube, they see anybody doing skits, they see you as an actor, or a proficient entertainer from any facet at all, they think you must be on. You must, because you are there, people are looking up to you. So I think like how many years ago, New Year's Day, I said, please, let me tell you something. If I am your role model in terms of the profession, I'm going to give you all the pearls of knowledge that I have. But if I am your role model because of behavior, you are a big fool.
You actually put that out.
See, they know me. He was fool. Was that necessary? I said, okay, sorry. Order. You are a big order. You know why? See, just because I'm in entertainment doesn't mean I can't be a normal chit-chat person with you. I can separate myself on Twitter. And like you said, I don't do this in real life. You know why? Because in real life, you idiots will not come to me and be talking like that. You know, because first of all, I was born in Sabongeri, Kano, where that's like a ghetto. Secondly, when I went to Calabar, I used to play football with fishermen, area boys. Thirdly, in Lagos, I stayed in Bishop Crowther. I stayed in Adisa Bashwa. I stayed in Shaki Crescent, near Cassette Bus Stop, all in Aguda. You cannot walk up to me as a Surulere boy and start chatting shit. Sorry.
No, go for it. It's a podcast, bro.
Start chatting.
Go for it.
You can't do that. So they don't do that in real life. They do it there. So I don't bring my real behavior. My real behavior, I'm a gentleman. I don't cause trouble. When I see people, anybody that wants to take pictures with me, even though there are 1,000 people, I will wait patiently and take pictures with them. Why? Because they need this. I'm even surprised that why would someone want a picture with me? I'm still in that frame of mind. Like, why? But they seem to like it. So if that's what they want, I'll be patient about it. I won't be an asshole about it. But you coming to tell me, I'm talking about football, I'm talking about Chelsea Football Club. Like, okay, let me give you a prime example. So this guy, Frank Lampard, was about to be hired as Chelsea manager the first time. So I said to my Chelsea fans, my Chelsea fans, they regard me as president of Chelsea in Nigeria. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the bus boost. But anyhow, I said, now Chelsea fans, if Frank Lampard is about to be employed as manager of Chelsea, if he will lose some matches, but if he does and you start insulting a club legend, Thunder will fire you. This was after I stopped doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's what I put. Then one guy said, yeah, like they fired you from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? Ooh. So you know what I did? I saw the text, the tweet, I kept it. I braced myself for the impact. I chilled. You see, the secret to Anne's replying, don't reply immediately. You'll talk nonsense. I leave it to stew. I have like 5 virtual replies. So I said, I have 5 replies for the guy. I said, how can I combine all these replies together? Because separately, separately.
My problem is not what to say.
Separately, they are grenades.
How can I? That's not.
I said separately, they are grenades. Let me combine it to give a nuclear reaction. So I go. I said, oh, like you were fired and wants to be a millionaire. People were laughing already. When I was ready for the guy, I just said, me fired from wants to be a millionaire. That's false. I said, I have never been fired in my life from any person that employed me. I said, conversely, the people that employed me used to regret me leaving their companies because of how good I was. I said, they used to regret me leaving their companies. Just like the night your father regretted firing your mom and having you. I put it there.
I saw that one.
I looked at it. I said, Kai, backlash. Backlash will happen. But is the buzz going to be lower than the backlash? Nah. Boom. I put it out. Let me tell you what happened. I put it out in the morning. It was a Sunday morning. Put it out Sunday morning. So a couple of hours, I went to the Palms. I went to the food court. Like 6 guys were there. They stood up and started clapping for me. So I was like, oh, who wants to be a millionaire fan? I said, oh, who wants to be a millionaire fan? He said, which wants to be a millionaire? He said, did you see what you did this morning? You put that guy in his position. You see, all these people are, So when I did that, I felt retribution had been served. But at the same time, I always do this. No, I can't just go and start insulting people. Okay, I take that back. Unless it's Daniel Rega. Daniel Rega tried me. I insulted him. He blocked me. I told people to be posting my. I hounded him. He doesn't want to unblock me. I told him, I said, just unblock me so that you can see.
Who is Daniel
Rega? You don't know Daniel Rega?
No.
Well, Daniel Rega looks like an anthropod. He looks like a crustacean, and he makes the most noise on Twitter. And he tried me. I said, Jesus. I said, you leech. You tried me. I said, I'll show you. I said, bigger animals, bigger species I have scattered. No, why I'm excited about this is that this is only on Twitter, on social media. But in real life, because they can't do that in real life, I'm my normal. I'm charming. I'm ebullient. I am didactic. I am, calm, down to earth, down to heel, very charming. But when you try me on social media, and because of that, entertainers are now answering back. Because you can't keep quiet and say brand. Okay, let me give you an example. Big Brother. Big Brother is phenomenal. I watch it, I'm addicted to it. But I notice the people that are well behaved, they don't it's the controversial people that brands even put their money on. So why should I be quiet on Twitter because of brand? I give you back, but I don't start the fight.
You're not the instigator.
No. I don't instigate. Like now, people are asking me, where have you been? Where have you been? I said, well, he said, you've not been in the kitchen cooking. They call it cooking. I said, well, if no need to start a fire if there's no smoke. So I said, hey, no.
I'm glad you said that thing with fire and smoke. Put it in your back pocket. I'll get to that in about 2 questions.
Go ahead. Please.
Okay, so look, this makes my next question almost unnecessary because you've answered most of it here. So I see,
Okay.
So I see the thinking, I see the thought process. But I'm still thinking, look, there's this whole, you've heard the story of the axiom, the analogy of the dog and the moon.
The dog and the moon, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so this is essentially, the moon is the brightest body in the sky when it shines at night.
When it shines at night, okay.
The moon is the biggest thing in the sky. And so when the moon shines and millions all over the world are seeing the moon, there's this dog barking in his neighborhood whom nobody can see. Maybe just a couple of people say, throwing slippers at dog. Keep quiet, get. But the moon is howling at the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, the dog.
The dog is howling. Yes, at
the moon. Now, so the moon ignores the dog, right? It's one dog. Besides, there are millions of dogs howling in their small neighborhoods around the world. Nobody's paying them attention. But they say that the thing now becomes an issue if the moon decides to address the dog or barks back at the dog.
Yes.
All of a sudden, everybody is now wondering, oh, what is so special about this dog that the whole moon has decided to give it attention?
Yes.
So my way of thinking is, look, I can understand how somebody can say something online that annoys you. I mean, I just confessed how annoyed I was when all this cretinous and asinine
on Joseph Benjamin, yes,
comes rudely, as if we're even. Don't even let me get started on all that. You come onto my page, my page.
That's the problem.
As in my page. It's not as if it's an independent page. My page.
Yes.
So I can understand how that is, and you display this level of ignorance that if you were any more ignorant, you would just be dead. I mean, just any more, you would literally just die.
Yes.
You know, so I want to reply, right? But so here's what I'm thinking. I can understand the annoyance, but I'm saying you're Frank Edoho. Why not, as you did with that guy? Why not fire one very caustic one, bam, and say something like, "If you reply after this, I block you," or something. Why do the back and why do the brawling to?
No, I don't waste time with someone I have decimated.
Oh, so it's once you do the one.
Once I do that one guy, I leave him. Another person comes. It's about sending a message. The moon is sending a message through that dog. Okay. Because it's the one that howls loudest, that encourages other howlers to form a choir and a congregation of howlers. And it becomes loud. The moon cannot hear anything. The din is, the decibel level is too much. It will affect your mental health, whether you like, even though you are the best person, you have an exterior, a cool exterior, inside your heart will be rumbling because it's coming from anywhere. So how do you attack? A mob attacks you. Are you going to start punching everybody? No. Hold the biggest one. Bloody his nose well. Keep it on the floor and say, who's next? The crowd, some of them will stop because they don't want that smoke.
Which is why I always think those, sorry to cut you, which is why I always think those action movies are staged because they are movies. Because I'm like, if there are 7 of you and your first guy just got his bones broken, why are the 6 of you?
Because they are obliged to.
They are obliged because they move.
They are more afraid of the master than this. So it's good to get their nose bloodied here. They have to get shot by their master. Because the master says, so what were you doing?
God, they just break. I mean, Steven Seagal, he just broke your guys. Bone 7 ways to Sunday, and you still jump into the fight.
So now the thing is, get one. When you get one, another one the next loudest one comes, you get that one and you wait. The third one will be like, do I really want this? Do I really want this? And before you know it, I've been on Twitter, it's been silent and I have not said anything. Maybe because football season is out, but football season is back and I know they are going to come at me again, and I'm ready. And this time, I'm not taking any prisoners. I'm going to decimate a whole fan base. Listen, there was one time you support Manchester United.
No,
Arsenal.
You forget this one, Frank, and I'm glad you've forgotten. This is how far I've distanced myself from the pain. The fact that you can forget means that I've done a good job. Arsenal. We used to both be rabid Chelsea supporters with Basoj. It was 3 of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the pain was too much.
Chelsea, listen to me.
Look, no, you can't convert me.
I'm not trying to.
Do you know that the night that we lost the Champions League in
penalties,
John
Terry's slip.
That was the worst. The 3 nights following that, I literally couldn't sleep. Look, I'm like, how is this healthy? How is this life?
You know you have to pick a struggle in life, otherwise the struggle will pick you.
That's why I'm not picking that one.
You see, Chelsea is the place I go to that will have a simulation of what life is all about. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you win trophies. But how do you react when you don't? How do you react when you're down in the lurch? What do? You know, you have to know how to react. So I use Chelsea as an extension, as a virtual extension of life to teach me when real life happens to me, I pick myself up and everything. That's what I do. That's how I do it. And there was one day, Manchester United fans, they came at me for 3 days. I tackled them for 3 days.
Man, you just went swinging.
No. I just said, oh, no. And I have time. I said, I have time now. I think it was the coronavirus time. I said, I have time now. You picked the wrong time. I have time. So this guy now said, oh, the way Chelsea is falling, they blah, blah, blah. Okay, Frank, they were teasing me. I kept quiet. Then the other one said, you know what? I'm going to send a Manchester United, 2 Manchester United jerseys for you and your madam to convert to Chelsea. I'll send Manchester United jerseys. Can you imagine? I told the person, I said, really, no need to send Manchester United jerseys to my madam because we have enough kitchen rags. The whole fan base.
Frank, you enjoyed this thing too much. Look,
I do. Did you see the joy in my face?
You enjoy. In fact, the day I knew you enjoyed it was when you were saying somewhere. I watched an interview where you were talking about how somebody saw you outside during, one of times when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was airing, and they said to you rudely, Frank Edoho, and are you just be this? You are small like this. You look big on TV.
Yeah.
To which you said, no, I'm not small. It's your television.
That's small.
It's your television.
That's my favorite response. Yeah. I said, yeah, it's your
you
TV.
Enjoy this thing.
No, I enjoy the fact, it's called repartee. The fact that you could reply with, you see, the job we do. Like now, if you have a podcast, you have the uncanny ability to reply. It looks you are ready.
All the years of standing on stage as a comedian for the hecklers and all of that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not that we can't do this thing now. You just initially hesitate to jump.
That's why I'm angry with comedians.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to allow people just walk all over you on social media and you are now mute based on branding.
Yeah.
No, you give it to them back. Have you seen James Blunt? James Blunt is the most oppressed guy on Twitter. But conversely, James Blunt, the singer who sang You're Beautiful, that guy, he is still the best clapback merchant ever.
In the business.
The guy will clap you back. Clap you back. You at the end you find yourself way back. So that's it. So in the whole, it's just vibe. It's just fun. It's just vibes. Mm-hmm. But now the annoying thing is that when people see me, they come and hug me and say, "Hey man, I like what you do." I say, "Yeah, we started Who Wants to Be a Millionaire again." You look at me, which millionaire? I'm talking about Bazbos. I like what you're doing to those people on Twitter. And I'm saying, "Oh, okay, thank you. I'm going." I say, "So this guy likes me more for Bazbos than."
Okay, so my takeaway from all of this is that these people who come for you in whatever guise or form or whatever they're doing, they are bullies.
They are. Just
like you shouldn't take whatever a bully does in real life.
Thank you very much.
Just like you should always stand up to a bully in real life, because you should never ever let a bully get away with it.
Thank you, because if the bully gets away with it, it feels more powerful, then goes to the next. Feels more powerful and everything. But when you deflate a bully, some of them, I follow them. At the end, after giving them that acidic retort, I follow them.
Okay.
I follow a lot of people just because, hey, whether you like it or not, they are Nigerians, they are our people. So I just follow them, and they are very happy when you follow them.
But I've seen that happen actually, this thing you're saying. Mm-hmm. Somebody actually comes aggressively sometimes. And a few times I do that, and all of a sudden they go back. They say, "No, I didn't mean
that
to."
That is it. Sometimes they go like, "Hey, you now know that, okay, maybe they were trying to seek attention, or or maybe they're going through something and everything." But the fact is, there is no excuse for bullying, and I hope that my retorts symbolize the fact that you shouldn't, tolerate any bullying.
Guise or form.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now you spoke about smoke and fire. Remember I said you should put it in the back pocket. Great. So they say there's no smoke without fire, by which they mean to say that if there's any rumor about you, Hi. Thank you for watching this video thus far. I know at this point you want to keep enjoying the video and you don't want me interrupting, but this is as far as this comes. So first of all, again, thank you. So at this point, you have 3 options. The first thing to do will be to subscribe to our podcast and then listen to the entire interview uninterrupted. So you can do that. Just go to the Teju Babyface Deep Dive podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. Or secondly, you could become one of our members, one of our YouTube members. Just subscribe to the membership below. Our members get to watch the full videos uninterrupted. Okay? Or third, if you do none of those two, you could wait around for a couple of days for us to keep posting the clips of this interview. But I can assure you that we're not going to post everything. We're just going to keep posting clips here and there. Obviously, of course, I'd prefer that you do number one and number two. Subscribe to the podcast, download and listen to the audio, and also become one of our members. That's how you show your support for us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Wait for the next one.